Hey everybody, it's Bryan from the Salty Language Podcast. Just going to do a quick couple minutes here. I've been thinking about this for a little bit, and there's a lot been going on with the bullying and the It Gets Better movement and everything, and kids killing themselves and a bunch of that kind of stuff. And it's really been bothering me that the focus has only been on the bullying. When I was a teenager and I was going through this stuff, I was picked on because I wore the glasses, because I'm fat, because whatever. I got good grades, so I was a nerd. I used to draw in class, so I get made fun of for doodling in class. I, didn't have a lot of luck with the ladies, so it was, oh, he's gay and whatever. So and honestly, the It Gets Better movement wouldn't have done a thing for me because I was fighting depression. It had nothing, I don't want to say it had nothing to do with the bullying, but it had something to do with the bullying, but a lot of it was just the fact that I was depressed. Like, this is something that's wrong up here. This isn't just something that, oh, if kids are just nicer, that poof, all this goes away. It doesn't quite work that way. It'd be great if it did, but that's not how it works. And I think that, again, much like our episode 47, which was about depression and anxiety, the whole point of these things is to just raise awareness for depression. You know, Kids are dealing with all this stuff, and I had a great support system at home. My mom and dad, I could have talked to them about anything. I had good friends, all this. But the problem is, depression is an isolating disease or an illness, and when you feel like you're alone, you can't. You're not going to just feel better simply because someone says, "Oh, it gets better." I mean, that helps. That helps you know that you aren't alone. That's great because that's something that a lot of people deal with that go through depression. Now, I don't want to say that those efforts should be stopped, but my question is, how much is being done in schools to teach kids about what the symptoms of depression are? What can be done? Are they giving you the, phone numbers? Because a lot of school counselors are, probably not as, they're not trained really well in how to deal with this kind of thing. But there's phone numbers out there. There's websites. The internet's it's an amazing tool now. If you use it for things other than porn and kittens. Um, there's all sorts of groups and support groups and things that so you can understand that what you're going through is the same thing a bunch of other people are going through, and that killing yourself is just not the answer. And again, I thought of killing myself various times, but it wasn't because of the bullying. It was, I was never sitting there going, oh, if I do this, then they can't pick on me anymore. It was just that I was so sad all the time that I literally just didn't care if I went on. The bullying didn't help by any means, but I basically was just sitting there not understanding why everything just felt against me. And that's where I think the focus needs to be. There's too many kids that are dealing with this kind of thing that maybe aren't even getting bullied. There's plenty of people who, maybe aren't, they just kind of stick to themselves and never really get bullied that much, but they still have to deal with this because, again, it's up here. It's not in, it's not only in what other people say about you. Most of the pressure that I have in my life that makes me feel down or whatever is not because someone else said something about me. It's just simply because it's just how I feel. It's my perception. It's not how you perceive me. It's not how anybody perceives me. It's mostly in my own head. My illness and myself are the biggest things that push my mood down. So, again, like I said in the podcast, if you know somebody who's going through this stuff, try to help them the best you can. If you don't understand, again, the internet's an amazing tool. Jump on WebMD, check out depression. There's all sorts of websites. There's phone numbers out there for people who can help you. If you feel like you need to kill yourself, don't. It's not the answer. It won't. It won't do anything. I mean, it's an incredibly selfish act. But at the same time, when you're isolated and depressed, you get to a point where you don't really care. So I hope maybe this will help some people understand a little better. And if you have kids in school, and when they get taught things like the anti-bullying, have them have the teacher, or ask the teacher yourself. Hey, what about just depression? What about those things? How can we try to cut off something that's extremely common in people, in a group where, like, teenagers tend to be uh, uh, depressed anyways, but that's a lot of that is just trying to fit in a little bit. But the kids who are truly sick and truly need some therapy or medicine, or just a support group sometimes, you know, what are they being offered? Is there anything to help those kids? If there isn't, push for it, because that's how you stop the kids. The bullying thing is fine, and that doesn't need to be stopped. As far as the bullying needs to be stopped, but the efforts to stop it are doing fine. Because if we can attack this on multiple angles, then maybe we can truly actually sit down and understand what the cause of some of these kids' problems are, and actually maybe get them help so that they can move forward in a positive manner. So there it is. That's been in my head for a while. I'd love to know what you guys think about this too. Obviously, you can drop some comments underneath, or if you want, give us a phone call on the Salty Language voicemail at 415-857-2589. Leave me a message. Tell us what you think, or if you've done something like this, or if you're part of a group that's done something like this and want to get whatever awareness we can help. We're in. Also, check us out at saltylanguage.wix.com/podcast. And if you haven't, please listen to episode 47. It's one where Tony and I sit and talk about my depression and my anxiety. And it really means a lot to me, because I really put myself out there. And I think we approach it in a way that if you don't fully understand what someone goes through, that it'll really help you. So, that's all I got for this time. So till next time, make sure you check us out, download the new episodes, and yeah, tell your friends, share all that whatnot. So thanks a lot. Talk to you later.